From the actress's serious mockery of people who drink plant-based milk, to all the drama that surrounded the cow milk propaganda, here's the real reason why fans canceled Aubrey Plaza. Starting with the commercial that started it all. In an ad that seems like it's straight out of a Saturday Night Live skit, Aubrey Plaza takes on the role of the co-founder of a company called Wood Milk. Now, Wood Milk might sound like some weird skincare product or something, but it's actually just the brainchild of Aubrey Plaza and her deadpan humor. The commercial opens up to Plaza hilariously embracing trees and showering herself with wood shavings, all just to promote an artisanal, old-fashioned and eco-friendly nectar of the forest. This is just the White Lotus actress making fun of all kinds of plant-based milk, talking about how they all just taste like wood. The real punchline, though, was when Plaza looked straight into the camera and in her signature, sarcasm-dripping tone asks, "Is wood milk real?" And the answer, "Absolutely not," she says. "Only real milk is real." Along with a reminder that wood milk has absolutely zero nutritional value and that the whole thing is just a mock ad. But while the product might not be real, the campaign definitely is. Aubrey is actually working for the Milk Processor Education Program, also known as Milk Pep, the folks who brought us the iconic Got Milk campaigns of the past. But of course, the major problem with these campaigns is the fact that people think they distract the world from the extremely damaging effects of the animal agriculture industry, claiming that only milk from cows is real. Which is definitely a bold statement considering that people have been sipping on plant-based milk for centuries. Now this is where Aubrey comes in. While the actress has definitely made quite the name for herself in the world of Hollywood, garnering plenty of love and admiration from people all over the world, her woodsy escapades in the commercial, and that horrifying milk mustache with bits and pieces of wood dripping from it, have left the fans a little disappointed, to say the least. People have labeled Plaza as a dairy propagandist for hitching herself to Big Dairy's narrative and making fun of people who have shifted to plant-based alternatives for the sake of the environment. All of this backlash actually forced the star to turn off her Instagram comments because people on the internet were going absolutely haywire, commenting on every single post, demanding an explanation. While some people are pretty angry at the star, a lot of fans have also come out to defend her. Those who love Aubrey Plaza have gone as far as to create fan cams and even started trending the Wood Milk Nation hashtag in her support. Some have even claimed that they would straight up be willing to drink any milk the actress endorses. Now that's what you call dedication, am I right? Some of you might be wondering, what really is the big deal with all of this anyway? So, let me break it all down for you. See, the dairy industry has been engaged in what the internet has dubbed as the milk wars for quite a while now. And no, the milk wars aren't just about taste preferences. They have a much darker side to them, especially when it comes to the production side of the dairy industry. I'm talking about air and water pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, not to mention the less than ideal treatment of cows that we get our milk from. And of course, the entire controversy about the workforce being extremely underpaid. And the Wood Milk commercial just conveniently forgets to get into all these details, relying on Aubrey's charm and wit to pander to the youth and mock plant-based milk. So while the actress, with all her humor and eccentricity, is always a sight for sore eyes, her association with the dairy industry is actually extremely problematic. And honestly, Big Milk kind of overdid it this time around. In addition to Plaza's cameo in the ad, they kind of started treating Wood Milk like a trendy startup, even creating an entire campaign website for it, complete with ironic FAQs and a page that seals Wood Milk t-shirts that say things like, "Got wood," not to mention the Our Story page, which talks about how the company only uses the highest quality hardwoods to make their milk. Honestly, it's just embarrassing at this point, putting so much effort into all of this, which makes me wonder, is Big Dairy just in denial? See, the thing is, the dairy industry regularly argues that plant-based alternatives to milk are overly processed and not healthy for you. But it's pretty amusing to see that they never really talk about all the complexities involved in modern-day meat and milk production, which are also just as processed as plant-based alternatives, if not more. I mean, talk about the pot calling the kettle black. But considering all of this, why did they think Aubrey Plaza, of all people, was the right person for the job? Well, she's still riding the White Lotus wave of fame, not to mention the fact that she's always going to be famous for playing April in one of the best sitcoms of all time, Parks and Recreation. So I guess it makes sense as to why the big milk players wanted her to be an ambassador of sorts, to rally the millennials and Gen Z back to the good old world of dairy. But here's the thing. It looks like Gen Z customers are just not interested in contributing to the dairy industry. That's right, folks. No matter how hard Big Milk tries to get younger people on board, these people have grown up in the age of the internet. They can easily make all their decisions on their own. In 2022, Gen Z customers bought 20% less cow's milk than the national average. And if you ask them why, most of them would talk about how they'd grown up listening to how the dairy industry is contributing to climate change. And honestly, Zoomers are some pretty environment-conscious people. You have to give them credit here. But because of this, milk marketers are now trying every single trick in the book to try and change the narrative. It's pretty obvious that Big Milk has a motive here, and they will do just about anything to achieve it. See, millennials, Gen Xers, and boomers still drink at least some form of dairy milk, but the younger generation is actually quite grossed out by it. And the bitter truth is that since 1945, dairy has been on a constant decline. And while cow's milk sales are still worth almost 6 times that of alternate milks, the plant-based options are quickly outpacing dairy in terms of growth. And hey, the reason is plain and simple. Plant-based milk just tastes really good, contrary to what the wood milk ad had to say. In fact, Gen Z would actually probably love to try wood milk, if it means that they could directly contribute to saving the environment. Speaking of wood milk, Aubrey isn't the only celebrity facing backlash for supporting the dairy industry. People on the internet are also going after Emma Roberts, after the American Horror Story star posted her morning routine on social media, showing her iced coffee that she made with whole milk. Emma also had to turn off her comments because people were just going off, calling her out for supporting the dairy industry and claiming that alternative milk doesn't have the same kind of nutrients that real milk does. See, the thing is, all of these endorsements are kind of taking people back to the 90s, when Big Milk was all about using famous celebrities to spread what some are now calling cow milk propaganda. Honestly, these ads were all the rage back in the day, from Gordon Ramsay to David Beckham and even Taylor Swift. Everyone was sporting those milk mustaches. It was a cultural phenomenon, but that was then and this is now. Not just the fans, but even representatives for the ethical treatment of animals have chimed in to comment on Aubrey's Instagram posts, calling her involvement in the ad pathetic and disgusting. All in all, the fact that a mock ad for a fictional milk brand has caused quite the stir just goes to show how deep-seated the issues of the milk wars really are, and the White Lotus star just happens to be caught in the middle of it. So, from the dark secrets of the dairy industry to the actress's involvement in a commercial that fans are just not happy about, this was the real reason why fans canceled Aubrey Plaza.